Hello, everybody, and welcome to the one of probably the best podcasts ever made for internet. This is called Corn Corner Podcast. I am one of the co-hosts by name of Wren. 4 letters, rather.
Real wordy name, 4 words.
That's where we are in the world right now. And you are one of the hosts as well.
Yeah, and just 3 letters for my name, and that's Cam. And did you know that for action that occurred on the surface of the water, celebrated surfer Laird Hamilton was Kevin Costner's stunt double?
Who is he? Larry Hamills?
Yep.
What's that man's
That's
name?
it. That's only his best friends can call him Larry Hamill. So you'll refer to him by Laird Hamilton.
Wow.
In this house.
Well, that's really something, and I appreciate that. I'll make sure I stay on the lookout for it. But the Corn Corner today, we're going to jump into some current news. This is a brand new segment, and I think this is a pretty wild thing to happen. We're recording this on Sunday, July 21st. It's currently 11:16, and news broke at 11:02 PST, the real-time zone, that our geriatric president, Joseph Robinette Biden, has decided to not go for a second term, which is pretty crazy.
I like that his middle name is in fact Robinette, and that does not make it like what you're saying is not better or worse. It's both bad for a middle name of an 81-year-old man.
It's not. It is funny in a way that I can't describe yet. But in a couple of years, I might be able to describe why it's funny. But it is funny.
I like Robinette with the extra like oomph you're putting on it because it makes me think of marionette, which is what he looks like often recently, getting up on that podium.
That man needs to just enjoy his sunset years, if you know what I mean, and not try to run the country of the world.
I texted my niece Avery and was like, we are either so back or we are so fucked.
Yeah. There's no between, baby.
Which,
so
like,
get ready.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
She's got a whole world ahead of her, so that's good. I often think so. Do you remember that tragedy that happened in September?
Of which year?
I think it was 1999 or something.
I'm pretty sure it was 2001.
Oh yeah, I do think it's 2001. Regardless, my mother got the paper that year, or that day, or something. We never got the Times-Picayune, but she got it. And she kept it, and she said, this is a paper we're going to want forever.
That's such a hilarious thing to be like, we're always going to remember this day. Like, we're never forget, but, like, I need to keep this paper from when they, like...
Yeah, when they did that tragedy. So I think about this podcast a lot like my mother keeping that paper, where... this is a kind of a wild historic thing to happen. So I thought that we should say it and it should be cemented in the Corn Corner current event section.
Yeah, and not to be, it's very controversial to talk about politics, but I think if one is listening to the Corn Corner podcast, we can assume a direction in which their politics lean in general.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty clear.
And also,
Free Palestine, et cetera,
yeah.
where we're at.
Trans Lives Matter, Free Palestine. Yeah. We know where we're all looking.
Anyway.
It's just a crazy, frankly, not just 1-2 punch. It's a 1-2-3, including the Hulk Hogan whatever that was at the RNC.
There's a photographer. He's one of my favorite photographers ever. God, I can't remember his fucking name right now. But he made a photo. He went to the RNC, made some photos, and there's this one of Hulk Hogan's name on a teleprompter, and it's like RNC branding everywhere. And under it says, I don't like to get political, but something like, or as an entertainer, I try not to get political. It's like, God, that's so funny.
You had that in your story on Instagram, and it's like, I'm trying to get political, but here I am headlining the RNC.
I think his name is
ripping off my shirt.
I think his name is Strange Victory. I think.
Mm-mm.
I immediately thought about Chris Maggio, who's one of my favorites. But
I never know who these people are, but I see you post in your story, and I always love that type of photography.
Yeah, that's the kind of photography I would really love to make. It just doesn't feel right for me right now.
It's like anti Norman Rockwell, where his little drawings and paintings were like the supposed idealistic pinnacle of Americana.
Yeah.
And then the photography that you post and are into is like the actual reality.
It is not Strange Victory, who is one of my favorite photographers. It's someone else. It might be.
But he don't know his name, but love him.
If anybody knows, let us know.
Yeah. If you think of the answer. Anyway, to wrap up that current event section, I just want to say I've never been more terrified to be a citizen of the United States, and also more optimistically nihilistic, where I'm like, it's all fucked.
Well, you know
Fuck
what
it.
is not fucked, and this is actually one of the bigger things of the current event section that we're going to be talking about today, is Corn Corner Business Con 2024 / or dash, really, 2025. This is a business style event that's going to be happening. This is a real event that's going to be happening, much like all the events. You're going to be able to, as a listener, be there in a way and experience business from a perspective that a lot of people haven't thought about business from.
And what perspective is that?
It is from a top, if you think about the top of where a business chain is, and you look at it kind of not thinking about it from the top in a geographical sense, but thinking about the top in more of a physiological sense or a philosophical sense, that kind of sort of thing. Regardless, it is going to be a large event that's going to be taking place, and there are going to be different, I call them business musings that are going to happen.
And is this like a type of event where, like, if you were looking at it from, as they say, the top down, would it be like, are you at the top, like, is the top smaller than the bottom? Like, if you're looking down, is the base bigger and you're at the top, or is it like reverse of that, where, you know?
If you have ever been to a PacSun, that kind of empowerment that you get when you walk into that store, I would say it's going to be similar to that sort of feeling, that style of feeling.
And for those who have not been into a PacSun, maybe it was a wet seal is what you were going into.
And
no?
If you've never been inside a PacSun, I guarantee it. But regardless, this is going to be something that's going to be happening on the Patreon at some point. And we have some of the I would say, titans of business coming.
Yeah.
There are different things you're going to learn. Let's put it, let me put it frank, and you're going to be on your own feet during this.
Yeah. And if you can't hit the ground running, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah. You have a couple segment that you're going to be doing on that you were looking forward to. One of them was called the Hard Drive Roundup.
Yep. And I don't want to like give too much away on here because I don't want to spoil anything. I want everyone who signs up for the CCBC 2425 to get there and be excited, be thrilled by the surprises that they'll see in the in the class lineup, the session lineup maybe. I want to note that I have a large part in the CCBC 2425 preparedness packages that a select amount of people will get depending on what time period they sign up for the business, business, what are we calling it? What is it? Business Expo. My bad. There you go.
Business Style Expo.
Business Style Expo.
And what Cam is alluding to is that this is going to be a 24-hour event. and it's going to be hard on us. It's going to be hard on you. But the only way to grow your mind is to be hard on yourself.
Yeah. In the words of a pretty decent band, God's Hate, life's hard, be harder.
Damn. That's good. Can we get them there at
I'm sure
the
they
event?
didn't coin that. Hey, you know, there's a pseudo-adjacent podcast called Hard Lore that maybe we can have a crossover. They are also titans of business style things. So
I've been feeling like being on another podcast as a guest recently.
Is that part of the expo, the business style expo?
No, this is just part of my own expo.
Okay.
But I have been thinking about it, and I usually decline invitation to be on other people's podcasts.
How often are you getting invited to be on other people's podcasts, especially without me?
Well, I don't feel comfortable speaking about it anymore. But
woof.
Yeah, but I generally don't like to do it because I don't have anything to say.
Well, that's not true.
But now I got stuff to say.
It's also, and it's also not. That's one. Back to the Business Style Expo. We're more to come announcement wise on that. But you should check out patreon.com/The Corn Corner to follow the most up to date announcements, which will be announced there at least a few minutes prior to their public announcement. And that's the leg up that you want and need if you want to be a cog in the RenCorp wheel. Anyway,
amen to that. Amen to that.
Bless up. I think you being on other podcasts, it's the other podcast people's job to incite you in discussion.
I know, but I just don't. I don't want to talk about a lot of things people want to talk about. I don't want to answer a lot of the questions that people want to ask of me.
But also, that's why you're good at like talking. Like I love putting you in a room with someone that I know already that you don't know,
but I just ask
and just
them
sitting
questions.
there because that's great.
But I can't do that on someone else's podcast.
You could do that. Yeah, you can. Why not?
I guess I could go on other people's podcast and top from the bottom.
That's so funny. Like, just like take it over. Like,
damn. Now I should do that.
Yeah, that's very funny to me.
Well, later today when I, what is it? Inevitably get asked to be upon somebody else's podcast, I'll put that in as a little bit. People love when you do an unplanned bit.
That's true. They love also not being in on the bit.
They sure do. They sure do. Well, we were going to talk about some current things happening. Let's see. What are some things happening? You got a big old Gengar behind you. That's a Pokemon for anybody that doesn't know.
Yeah.
It seems weird
He's been here for a while.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
He's been here since we moved here because we moved here with my niece and went to Target one of the first,
I got it.
The first week we lived here, and there were Pokemon stuffies, and I was like, I'll get you one. And then I was like, I also want one, I guess. And I didn't need it.
One of my favorite things about you are the impulse buys.
I've been better about that recently, though, and that's a current event for me. Been working on my truck more, and I put a bunch of stuff in a cart from BroncoGraveyard.com, and spent a week contemplating if I really needed these things to make my truck drive better.
Good.
And the answer at the end was yes, I do, because they are actually vital things, like better bulbs for my headlights and weather stripping to do all the rotted weather stripping, and just change my own alternator and whatever stuff. But we're doing better.
Good. That is good. It is fun going out places with you because you never know what's going to happen. Anything could pop up into that cart.
Yeah.
But I think I'm on the other side of the extreme where I don't allow myself to have enough little fun indulgences in my life. And we should equal each other out.
You should. Yeah. But you should I feel like you should do more. I will say one thing I've been bad about recently is renting or buying movies on a whim on like streaming services, just because like I wanted to watch a Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau movie last night that I hadn't seen, so I rented this one called The Breakup. I don't know why. It wasn't bad, but I was like, did I need to spend $4 on this?
Yeah. Probably not.
No.
Probably not. It's just not that big
Also
deal.
bought Ghost Ship and The Cell yesterday, so
I think The Cell is one of those movies that you talk about all the time. It's either that or Incel, because you talk about r/incel a lot.
Please don't put that lie out there.
That's a lie.
We do a lot of things where you joke about things that I'm into or not into, and it's the truth is the opposite, and I let it go, but I cannot. I cannot abide this.
I cannot abide this. The Breakup movie. I don't think I've ever even heard of that movie.
It was Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston, and then I love an ensemble cast movie. So it's like Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau and the kid from A Christmas Story, the kid who plays like Ralphie.
Yeah.
Well, he's a man now, but
yeah. I'm trying to think of his name. Him and Vince Vaughn have like a production company together.
Oh, what? Jon Favreau?
No, the kid that played Ralphie.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It's like I got a whole story.
I feel like you're fucking
Nah,
with me.
I swear to God.
You do?
Yeah, they have a production company in Playa, and Vince will drive his little golf cart around Playa Del Rey and just leave it places.
Yeah, you've talked about that before. Or you've told me about that before, because it's like a huge asshole move. I'm just like,
yeah, he'll just leave it places and he gets tickets all the time. He doesn't give a shit. Anyway, that Ralphie kid he's a grown man now, evidently, and they have a production company together there.
It's so weird. Like, what a weird coupling.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good for him, I guess.
Good for him, I
though.
guess. Anyway.
Yeah.
Did you like the Christmas Story movie?
I've never actually seen it.
Oh, you should.
Not once.
You should.
I don't know. I think at this point it's kind of like, it's like when I hadn't seen Shawshank for like, I never saw Shawshank until like 2021 or something. Because it's one of those movies where everyone's like, you haven't seen blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. And like, that makes me like, nothing could make me want to watch something less than when someone does that.
I guess to me, Christmas Story only is fun because it represents the holiday season.
But there's so many other things. Like, I'd rather watch Home Alone.
Yeah, but Christmas Story is the one.
Is it?
On all the... Yes. It's like the one. I don't think it's a very good movie. I'm sure it's not. But it's just the one that's always on TV. There's something about watching it on cable during the holiday that makes it fun.
Where are you watching anything on cable?
Like, I'll go to, like, people's houses and stuff.
Oh, I guess there are, like, certain people's, like, parents' houses that probably still have cable and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a hilarious thing to think about, frankly.
Yeah. So maybe you get Shuri to pop it on the big screen. You ever think about that?
That'll never happen. We're talking about going my dad's birthday plans next month, which is wild because that means a year ago you came on a trip with me to Central Pennsylvania, and in a month a year ago. But
that was such a fun trip.
I still haven't edited 2 videos. Anyway.
Okay.
But she was talking about like ideas, and she made sure to be like, but it can't be long. Only a few hours.
God. It's so funny because my mom would do anything to have another second. Like, she would have
alive?
No, not that. I think she was ready to go. You know what I mean? But I'm saying with me, this is not saying in the grand scheme of things. I'm saying in a
Yeah.
time period. Like anytime I had to
Yeah.
leave and go back to college, she was upset.
Yeah.
But you, Cherie looked
Not-
like she just won
nope.
the Powerball.
Yeah. She's like, good, get out.
Yeah.
It's time to go lay upstairs.
Yeah. Which was a little bit weird. Well, moving on to the next current event. Let's see. Some things that I've done recently. Oh, Ren Art Volume 1 came out. And
Which is what?
it's a year collection of my art that I decided to put into print because Instagram is demoralizing. I put it out on the feed. The best shit doesn't get any attention. And then it just gets covered with clips from this stupid fucking podcast. And those people love it. And we talk about pup play and people love it. And then, but my photographs that I make and put all this time and energy into are deep at the bottom of the feed and nobody sees them. So
Yep.
I decided to put them in the print because I think it gives them a new life. And I made, it's 40 pages. It's a booklet. It's high quality. And I did a little layout and put a bunch of things that represent my first year of taking art seriously.
Including a crossword.
I did. I made a bunch of shit. I made a crossword. It's a very accessible, easy to do crossword.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. You're going to get a copy in the mail soon.
I look so forward to it. Maybe it's already here. I don't know.
No, because it got shipped out 2 days ago, so it's not there yet. Regardless. It was fun. The most fun thing about it, I will say, was the layout. I had no idea that the layout was going to be so fun. And what it did was it made me look at a bunch of stuff that I did under new eyeballs. I looked at things...
Like how they work together.
Yeah, how
in the
they
layout.
match, things that go together, ways people's heads are moving. For instance, one of my favorite pages is... I take a lot of photos of Lily.
Yeah.
I don't know why. She's just very photogenic and beautiful. And
I don't know why I took a lot of photos. She's just really gorgeous, so I guess.
she doesn't freeze up when the camera comes out.
Yeah.
So I have all these photos of Lily I like from just like walking around places. And I take a lot of photos of my friend Nicole, who's also gorgeous and very photogenic. And I put these 3 blurry photos of heads going different ways on a layout of a page that I really liked, and one's of a stranger. And these photos alone aren't very special or cool, but being in a layout, the 3 feels really good.
Yeah. I think that's what you look for in like when you do or look at photo books and stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't like the individual images. It's like how they interact with each other.
It really taught me, because I had a lot of ups and downs where I wanted to quit and say, fuck it, I don't care about this. Like over the year of making things. And I have.
Yeah.
Before that year. Like I've always have taken photos and things, but I've quit because I'm like, this is stupid. But doing this book was actually really amazing and teaching me it's about the collection and not about the individual moments.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I feel like that's a good thing to a good way to look at it. Also, on the things you've quit and picked back up, one of the exciting things you said before we started recording was that you made a new sound in your voice lessons.
Yeah. I started doing voice lessons 1.5 years ago, and I've quit that twice.
Yeah. I think we talked about this last episode a little bit, but so if you don't know what we're talking about, go listen and catch up.
Yeah, but I quit twice because I thought that I wasn't going to be able to do it. I thought I was like, I missed the ship. I thought that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, I finally made a sound yesterday in one of my practice sessions. that I liked. It took me a year and a half. And this actually makes me feel good because I started doing this class with Will Ramos, who's the vocalist of Lorna Shore. Death metal band.
Oh.
Hyper popular right now. What?
I just know, I don't listen to them, but I know who that is band-wise for once. You say a band that I'm like, oh, okay. Like
Mr. Togo really loves them. He's always popping them in places. Mr. Togo, moderator of the Discord. Get in the Discord with Corn Corner. It's so fun. Anyway. He did a class with this guy named Chris Lipe and this woman named Elizabeth from Charismatic Voice. They go through and they talk about a bunch of shit for this voice, and it's cool, it's helpful, but the one thing that was the most fucking helpful was Will said it took him 6 years to feel like he had something to contribute to a band. So that was worth, the class cost $300. That was worth the money to me. I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Because I want to do things... Because
I'm not going to be good at this in 6 months.
Yeah, I want to do things immediately. And I know that that's not how shit works, but hearing that, I'm like, okay, good. This is... You hated everything for 6 months. And that's kind of reset my brain in how I want to...
For 6 years.
Yeah. Well, and I think that he also said he didn't have anyone to show him shit. Whereas I do, and that's helped me a lot. A lot. Because I have people to show me basics, and then I can play and explore and find things that sound really cool and fun to me, and I like. But he was like, I didn't have any of that. Yeah. So he's like, for the first 2 years, when I tried to scream a high, it felt like razor blades in my throat. I've never felt that because I've had people help me.
Yeah. So maybe your trajectory is shorter than 6 years.
Yeah, I'm excited to go practice today because I finally have a sound that I like. I want to dig into that and see where that can go.
I feel like that's the main message of this whole statement thing, and along with your zines, is actually it's like a never too late thing, which there in my obsession with movies, there's like this YouTube guy named Chris Stuckman who does horror movie reviews, but he is making a movie that got picked up by Neon Studios that just like did Long Legs and is like kind of like the new A24. Like it's what like I feel like A24 started as, now Neon is like doing. But he like was just a YouTuber, like very popular, obviously, like in the last like years or whatever. But he's like 36 and just now is like doing things that are like, I feel like we're so used to seeing like 20-year-olds in these highly successful positions because of some like crazy overnight like viral bullshit. But it's like this dude just actually like worked his ass off to like get himself into the industry. And he's 36 and it's happening. And that's not old, to be clear. No. It is like, seems like more of a normal age trajectory wise. But it makes me feel like not shit being 35 and being like, I can still live my dreams.
Yeah. We always hear about the standout successes. We always hear about that shit. We never hear about the people that are doing things on a very normal trajectory, but the people that have directed a movie at 18, the Blair Witch Projects of the world are the Blair Witch Projects of the world for a reason. They're very, very...
Was that directed by 18-year-olds?
Well, no.
Are you talking about the actors?
I should have clarified more. The concept of a groundbreaking, cheap, amazingly creative, industry-shaping movie.
Yeah.
Coming out like that is not super common.
Yeah.
Because it's not super common. It's 3% of all the movies created. A lot of the other things are little pieces that get kind of added and added and added. Like Severance is one of the best things I've ever fucking seen. And if you listen to the writer, I forget his name, talk about trying to get Severance made, it's really inspiring and helpful.
I just looked up after post-production costs, Blair Witch, this is a crazy range, but it says it costs somewhere from 200 to 750K. Let's just say 750K is what the first like Blair Witch cost. But like now, like a low budget, like Longlegs was like a like lower budget horror movie, and it's because like 7 million was for Nick Cage's salary, but then it costs 11 million total, and like that's low. That's not related to what we're talking about really, but like crazy.
I think you have a really good thought, and you were talking about being a famous YouTuber and moving into this new place and things like that. And I recently watched a Defunctland video. Everyone knows Defunctland. We love Defunctland.
Yeah.
He made the Fast Pass video. I think it's like a 2-hour video on the history of the Fast Pass.
It's so long.
It's amazing. Truly. I'm not making a joke. It's one of the best documentaries ever made, in my opinion. Ever.
We've talked about it on this podcast before.
He made a documentary. It's an hour-long documentary about who created the Disney like sound for the kids, like the Disney kids show.
Yeah.
Or the bumper. The
startup sound. Yeah.
With the wand.
Yeah.
That sound. I got chills. You gotta watch it.
I have not watched it, and I actually should.
It is heart-wrenching. It is. I am not kidding you. Like, he talks at the end about wanting to be a documentary filmmaker and wanting to be in the same place as these people that are quote-unquote doing it for real. And the movie that he puts together is fucking amazing. But at the very, very, very end, his little bumper is saying that he wishes he has the same respect as other filmmakers, but he's a YouTuber. And the thing that is so sad about it is that even if you just take the Fast Pass one, it's fucking amazing. It's so good. It's so researched. He bait and switches us up with a fake park that mirrors Animal Kingdom. It's incredible. That is new documentary filmmaking on YouTube. Like Super Size Me and all that from the 2000s or whatever, 2010s. That's old.
Yeah.
YouTube is a new place for that shit. That's where shit is happening. And I don't know, I got on this rant and I got so passionate I kind of forgot where I was going. But
it doesn't matter. I like where it's going. Keep it going.
But it's this idea that Blair Witch and stuff was just kids going out with a camera, and then it got taken and brought into somewhere else. And I'm sure a lot of that budget was post-production, trying to make it work for a theater, doing post-audio, doing color, doing VFX, things like that to make it work. But the production of that, the pre-production of that film was dirt cheap.
Yeah.
It had to get turned into something that could go to theaters. But this idea that $7 million, what was the budget for Longlegs? $7 million or something?
No, it was like $11 million.
$11 million is low budget.
But $7 million was Nick Cage's salary.
Well, yeah. $11 million is low budget for a theatrical release movie. But
yeah,
I talk about On Cinema at the Cinema a lot. That is a purely audience-funded show through Patreon. And they're doing things that are absolutely incredible, making it only for YouTube and for their own Patreon and their own website. And I
think the problem, like, is that the thing about being like for YouTube is that people will like in my opinion never take YouTube fully seriously. Like the guys who made the movie Talk to Me, I forget if they're brothers or just friends, but it's like two Australian and New Zealander guys, but they like were YouTube people, and then they like got this movie picked up and got it made and stuff, and no one like, I mean, they were hugely popular YouTubers, but like not like a household name like Talk to Me was last like winter or whenever that came out. So like it's hard. I feel like it's hard to do things for people where like the payoff and goal of everything is on YouTube. Like the Defunctland guy saying you know.
Yeah, but okay, I have a thought. You just watched The Breakup. It's a fine movie.
Yeah.
It's a summer ensemble movie.
Yeah.
Long Legs is a different movie. Talk to Me is a very different
Yes.
movie. If I think there's a world where people that want a Long Legs or a Talk to Me or an Everywhere Everything All at Once, if that was on YouTube, they would find that and watch it because it's so in line with a group of viewers versus something like The Breakup. That's not a movie like for anyone specific. It's for everyone, kinda.
Yeah.
So
And wasn't like a huge like, oh my god, this movie's coming out soon, probably when it was out. Like,
yeah, it's a utilitarian keep the lights on movie. It's got an ensemble cast that everyone likes. It's a funny premise. And people are going to go see it with their families.
yeah,
Versus Talk to Me is the polar opposite. It's a movie for people that want to watch
Long
a
Legs
movie.
was really the polar opposite.
What?
Yeah.
So I don't...
Long Legs was really the polar opposite.
And I kind of feel like these movies would still find their audience no matter where they are. Now, obviously, being in a theater is far superior, always, than being
Yeah.
on YouTube. I know that. But I also think, coupled with this thought, that Kevin Perjurer from Defunctland needs to reset his mental metrics. And I get it. Like, I understand why he feels this. I feel it in certain ways as well. But he's got millions of people watching his thing on YouTube. Like, he's the current day documentary filmmaker. He's the current day, what is the guy, Michael Moore or whatever? Who's that guy that made, like...
Yeah.
He's the current day that guy.
Yeah.
And he's embracing the mediums that are available to him. And I think that's
like
good.
I think I get personally frustrated in these things because like things I want to make can't go on. It's also like him being upset about being pigeonholed being a YouTuber, and as like to me or you know adult creators who want to do other things or have always like done other things that don't pay the bills or don't get like notice, weren't like wanting to branch out of porn, but like you can't because like I want to make other things and make just like aesthetic cool videos and stuff, but I don't know where the hell to put them.
Yeah.
And they can't go on like YouTube generally because I like want to do horror stuff and stuff also, but they can't go on my website because they're not porn. So it's like,
Well, I feel like I feel like all artists in all of history have had to do the thing that keeps the lights on and do the thing that they want to do, regardless of what medium you're in. And I feel like the thing you have is you have people that want to watch the things you make. You have people that care about the things you make. So, of course, will your art horror film ever do as well metric-wise, view-wise, as some kind of adult thing you make? No. But it's also measuring it wrong because the Corn Corner is a great example. We don't have the same numbers as Coffee Time with Margaret and Sandy. But our people that like it are fucking the best. And they get the shit that we're doing. So it's...
And they're excited to go to Corn Corner business style.
They're going to be there. It's going to be a huge event. But I think it is difficult because when you look at something like A View, I think it's how many people are really engaging, and you have high engagement, you have high buy-in from people that care about the things that you make, whereas a lot of people don't.
I just need to let myself be a weird little guy in my spare time more.
Yeah. It's exhausting to be a weird little guy, though. But I hear you.
Well, I mean, we're just bouncing all around this conversation, but now my full-time thing is just like editing for the most part.
Yeah.
And once I get enough, and I think another few weeks of padding financially, I'll be able to take some days of the week to cover myself in fake blood again and take some weird selfies.
You know, I was scrolling the Corn Corners YouTube, which is my YouTube. And like that's like my account that I use to watch recreational videos, the Corn Corners one.
Yes.
So the one that you all watch the videos on is the one I'm watching how to fix my sink on. Anyway,
it's so funny.
I watch music. That's how I listen to music, is through the Corn Corner account. And
yeah, I know. I see.
I know you know, but
because I own both of the accounts also.
You do. And I rent it from you. I rent the Corn Corner account from you every month. You're like a landlord of YouTube.
Yep.
That's a joke, everybody.
Yep.
Anyway, you just hate ads, so you have YouTube Premium. And I'm going to siphon that premium out. Anyway, people, I'm trying to get to the fucking point here. Could the Carwinian music video popped up, and it felt like it popped... What?
Carwinian.
Carwinian. Yarwinian video popped up.
Yep.
And I think it popped up out of just, I don't think it knows it was you, because we've never looked at it on the YouTube. So I don't think that the algorithm understands that you edited that video or whatever. Anyway. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is long. Anyway, I clicked it, not realizing it was the video edit, because I was like, oh, it looks cool. The thumbnail got me to click. And then I watched it, and I immediately realized, like, oh, this is the video that you made. And it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I haven't watched it in, like, months. I should probably watch it again. I need to record a lot more for the full length 30-minute video that there's going to be.
People even said that the video was good in the comment.
Was it you?
No. Someone else.
Are you sure? Okay.
People said the video was good.
No. I think it was pretty good. But I forgot I was going to say something else. I was going to totally take this into another current events thing, which is that I started running recently. There you go.
You started running recently? What does that look like?
Have I not sent you this?
I've never seen you run.
Sent you my little... Well, no shit. No one needs to see that.
What do you sent you? How long do you run?
I take my little... I've only done like 5 times or something now, but I run anywhere from 3 to 5 miles. Well, no, it's always been 4 or 5.
How you do this daily?
That's cool. No, I was doing it like every other day, but I forgot I have old sports injuries, and now my knee really hurts. So
isn't there something
taking a second until next week?
Isn't there something pleasing about being in pain throughout the day?
Depends what kind.
Like those old sport injuries getting acting up. It feels good. It feels like you did something. I love being in
I like
a little soreness.
Yeah, I like that. Like being sore, like muscle sore, because you worked out your muscles good. But I don't need to be limping or every time I take the first step on the stairway up going, oof, because my knee is like, my patellar tendon's about to give out.
Papa got bad knees. So you run, you're listening to Nine Inch Nails, and you are clearing your head?
I initially started because I thought it would help me sleep because it just makes me more tired. Yeah. And then I started to be like self-challenges of like how now I'm doing to see how like low I can get my mile split through like, you know, so
your PB
is down to like, it's down to like a 10-minute mile, which is like not, I have to walk up like this one big hill on the like path that I do because it's just too fucking steep to bother running up. So like 10-minute mile for 4 miles is like not that impressive. But I mean, kind of it is actually, because I haven't run in like 3 or 4 years. You know,
I don't think it
and
matters.
quitting nicotine helps.
You're out there doing it.
Yeah.
And
But now that's the only workout I want to do, and I injured myself, and now I have to wait to do it again.
maybe you could do it in like a pool or something. Don't people do that?
Sure, but then I'd have to go to a pool. I think I could just do it in a pond.
I don't think I'd want to get
Yeah,
in
it'd be
there.
gross. You know, I did get in there for the Cam Wren music video.
Maybe you could get a cold plunge. You should make a cold plunge. Can you make a cold plunge? Please.
Just with my hose and a bucket? Or like...
Yeah, it's gotta be chilly during the. Think about how great it would be to make a little cold plunge. You pop up in there.
Do you know how expensive those are?
There's
The circulating...
no. There's a cheaper way to do it.
Yeah, you just buy ice and fill like a tub with it, and then put water in it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
I want a cold plunge.
I
and a
mean,
sauna
if
so
you
bad.
come here, then yes, yeah, we I don't have a sauna, but it is, the AC sucks here, so it's warm. If you come up to my room and you stand on a ladder and you're up at this eaved roof, then
You're in the sauna.
basically a sauna.
When
Yeah. And for that reason, I only take cold showers.
God. I have 2 closets in my bedroom, and one of them I've turned into my vocal practice booth. And when I get in there, I'm drenched in sweat because I close the doors and I have like car insulation on the walls,
Yeah.
so it's quieter and stuff. And the other day I was in there dripping sweat. I felt like I worked
I'm
out.
just gonna pass out.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
How do you do your? How do you? Because do you take virtual lessons from there?
Well, when I take a lesson, what I do is I kind of have to redo the whole thing. I take out some padding. I put in a chair and a lamp. It's a huge pain in the ass. But I haven't taken a lesson in a long time.
Oh, okay.
But
You're on your own practicing.
yeah, but that was okay because I took 6 lessons, and in the last 2 I wasn't ready for yet. We didn't have anything to really work on.
Yeah.
But the first 4 were incredible. Because I asked, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? How does the singer do this? How does the singer do this? And I got bass lines for a bunch of shit. So I'm kind of feeling like I might take a re-up lesson in the next
Yeah.
couple months.
Maybe those last 2 lessons that you didn't have stuff on before, now you do.
Yeah. But I felt like I took too many for a minute. But when I do that, I'll probably, I don't know. I mean, I took one of my lessons from your place because I
I
could
do remember. Yeah.
I could be very loud and it didn't matter. But no, I put just like a little lamp in there in the closet.
The thought of you like answering a Zoom call or something from a closet with you it's just you in a closet with a chair and like some bare bulb lamp, just being like, all right,
Here we go. And a mic.
let's do it. Yeah. Ready to rock. I'm here in the booth.
Yeah.
It's good. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what I gotta do. Because I realize I don't need my neighbors calling the cops.
Not on that at least.
Nope.
Drink to that.
Amen. The thing about doing this virtually is that we're allowed to have drink.
Yeah. It's crazy how that's allowed when we're not in person.
Yeah.
Although I have been backing away from the mic to drink my seltzer, and I've had several burps that I've
Good.
kept to myself instead of belching directly into the microphone for you.
I do appreciate it. Well, I'm curious to see what this episode is going to do. Because, listen, people, we understand that you want video. We get it so fucking much. But what you don't get is sometimes it's hard. So I am curious. I know people are going to be so happy that there's video. And listen, I'm happy that you're happy. But I'm just curious. I'm curious how it's gonna do versus the audio only ones.
Oh, okay. I was like curious about what.
Well,
there were only like 2 audio only ones, weren't there?
Yeah.
Okay.
3.
Not really good baseline for comparison. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
but I mean it's common sense. Like I want to look at people.
Yeah, but this is the whole reason that we were talking about doing audio only, because most people aren't like being like, oh, I want to listen to my favorite podcast. Let me turn on the YouTube and stare at the TV for an hour. Like people want to do shit and like, be cooking or driving to work or whatever.
Yeah, but
While they listen to us ramble about our own personal struggles and have random intermittent silences where we sigh and consider.
Yeah, it's just like social. There's nothing to do. There's nothing. You can't put on audio only on social. Just that sucks. And also,
we just gotta do more micropods when we're together. Just record a shit ton of micropods. I love those.
They're fun.
Social only micropods.
But I have stopped caring about the big picture, and I'm going day by day what we can do with the pod. So doesn't have to be perfect.
And that sums it up. There's the episode wrap up.
That's it. Well, people, don't be afraid of anything in your life.
Oh. There's some things you could be afraid of.
Yeah.
Like hornets.
You got a big thing with hornets now.
I don't. We do. There's a hornet's just like right outside my bedroom window, so it's think about it a lot on the daily.
Well, maybe open up that window and you let them in. Maybe those hornets are just trying to get the scoop on the new podcast that's going to come out.
Oh, they live right next to the satellite dish that controls my internet, so I think they're on. They got their finger on the,
You know what? They can go fuck
pulse.
themselves. Is what I'm hearing.
Basically that.
All right, send us off.
What's the new hit catchphrase? Keep calm and corn on.
No, we got to say the old catchphrase. It's good when we stop saying it.
No, but people.
Well,
someone made fan art of a new one.
Let's do both. Say the new one.
I just keep calm and corn on. I just did it.
Nice. And now start the next one. Start the old one. We'll do them all. Fuck it. We'll do them all.
It doesn't matter. Fuck it. Do it live. It doesn't matter if you're shucked.
Yes. Oh,
say something.
It doesn't matter if you're shucked or if it doesn't matter if you're creamed.
All that matters is that
that's right.
You're a kind corn.
All that matters is that you're kind corn. That's right. People be kind corn to each other, and Corn Business Expo, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of different things in this podcast. And all right.
Patreon.com/thecorncorner.
Okay. Well, people, goodbye.